the legendary coach that is Roy Williams, who has led the Tar Heel way for the last 17 years, has announced his retirement at 70 years old. Roy coached for 33 years between the universities of Kansas and UNC twice. He was the assistant head coach while Dean Smith was there. We all know the legend that Dean was in the Smith Center and whatnot. But as a University of North Carolina fan since I was a kid, I just want to say thank you, Roy. I know you're never going to see this on the off chance that you do by accident or whatever. You meant a lot to the university. You meant a lot to the fans. You meant a lot to the school. Um, Watching you coach every single group of freshmen that came in, watching you coach the teams that we had, the star-studded teams, the bad teams, and we didn't have a lot of bad teams. I know last season wasn't the best season, but we made do with what we had. And coming back to the tournament this season felt good, and it just, it felt like we were poised to be in a good position going forward with the recruits that we had coming. But like I said, I'm happy for you. I'm really excited that you've decided to move on and live a more comfortable life. We do know that for any coach in any sport, any manager, it can be a stressful point or a stressful job to be consistently on the sideline day in, day out, yelling, screaming, practice, get up, doing all the things that you do for the community as well as for the university. And like I said, you're going to be very, very, very missed. Bringing 3 national championships to this already amazing program was a blessing in itself. The hearts that you touched, like I said, in the community and in the NBA with all the players that you've coached, it doesn't go unnoticed, and it's incredible. And it really does hurt to know that you're kind of stepping down. It kind of caught me off guard this morning when I saw. I really thought it was an April Fool's prank because it is April 1st. By the time you guys see this, obviously it'll be April 2nd. But again, as a University of North Carolina fan through and through, what you did for the program was uncanny, and it cannot be matched. So for all of us as North Carolina fans, I wanted to say thank you, and I hope you enjoy retirement, man. I really do.
I mean, Kev, you really hit it on the head here. There's not much else that I could really add here. I just looking at his overall impact to the game of basketball, specifically at the collegiate level. I mean, he had a 903 and 264 record as a head coach in NCAA basketball. He's basically winning 3 out of 4 games every time he coaches. That's absolutely sensational. Like you mentioned, he won 3 titles, all with UNC, 2005, 2009, and 2017. Almost made 10 Final Fours as a head coach, which is just absolutely bonkers. Granted, he went to the Final Four a couple of times with Kansas, and then went to most of them when he was with the University of North Carolina. And just think about this for a second. Like, think about Roy Williams and the shoes that he has to fill after Dean Smith, the great Dean Smith, retires from coaching at UNC. Those are very difficult shoes to fill. And I don't think you could have asked anybody to do a better job than what Roy Williams did in replacing Dean Smith. So, I mean, the guy was a 2-time AP Coach of the Year, once in 1992, and then the other one in 2006. The guy was just sensational. And I always thought that his presence on UNC teams was kind of interesting because even though that he was an older coach, I thought he was able to really bond and really form great relationships with his players. And for somebody that old and to still be that admired and that well respected by kids like coming from our generation and now the younger generation, that's something to behold. And there's not a lot of coaches that could do that as consistently as he did for 2 to 3 decades. So you have to give him a lot of respect. I'm going to say this too. Like, I was actually surprised at the fact that he ended up retiring today. And I mean, look, it's April Fool's, and I thought that it was a good April Fool's joke, but I was going down Twitter and find out to believe that it was true that he is going to retire from the game of basketball. And but I will say this, an absolutely hell of a career. He has nothing left to prove as far as I'm concerned when it comes to coaching the game of
Zero.
basketball. So he's leaving out at a good time. He's 70 years old. Now he can enjoy retirement the way that he wants to. Obviously, it didn't go the way that he wanted it to this season, just because they got bounced out of the first game that they had in the NCAA tournament this year. But I think he got the most that he could from his players this year. And the best thing that he could have asked his players this year is just to go out and do your best. And I'm pretty sure that those guys did everything they could to go out and perform for their coach. And that's all you can ask for. So, like I said, you got to give a lot of credit and a lot of kudos to Roy Williams. Just a fabulous collegiate coach and probably one of the last great ones that we may see for an extended period of time as far as I'm concerned.